Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.
Hello and welcome to the BMW Clown Shoe. What a funny name for a car, but it is kind of obvious how it got that nickname. This is the Z3 M Coupe. It's the first Z3 M Coupe I've ever driven. It's becoming an absolute collector's item. But this is a Z3 M Coupe with a difference because it has a turbocharged 2JZ under the bonnet. I think I just turned on the seat heater. I'm so happy to report that this is one of those days where you meet your hero and it goes well. I've always wanted to drive a BMW Z3 M Coupe. I must admit, never thought I'd drive one with a Supra engine, but it's been all the more special. And this is a really special car. It's a skunkworks car, like the Lamborghini Miura. It was made at nighttime by enthusiastic young engineers doing things they shouldn't have been doing. Same thing with the first Golf GTI. And the Z3 M Coupe wasn't an official BMW project. It was made after hours by a couple of rogue BMW engineers. And when they took it to the board said, no, we're not making that. And they said, please just drive it, just take it for a drive. And after that, it was approved for a limited numbers run. It is really a particularly special car, regarded as one of the best driver's cars ever made, and it's appreciating in value like crazy. And that is one of the reasons why this particular car has such an interesting story. For the owner, who is also the car's builder, the Z3 M Coupe was always his dream car. But when he finally bought one, he found it was just too slow. But he also thought it would be sacrilege to turbocharge the M3 engine fitted as standard. Not only that, but it would ruin the value of what is an extremely rare and iconic car. So he took out the engine and gearbox and put it away for safekeeping. And then he sourced the 2JZ from Japan, turbocharged it and cranked up the power to 400 kilowatts. So can you imagine a Z3 M Coupe with 400 kilowatts at the wheels? So they decided that that was a little bit silly. And they put a smaller turbo on and down-tuned it a little bit. And now it's pushing about 300 on the wheels. But still, that is about double what the original motor in here offered. And of course, the interesting thing is that the engines weigh very similar amounts. So the handling hasn't been affected at all. And the way they did the build, they left the wiring harness in, it's tucked away. They can literally lift this out, put the original prop shaft, gearbox and engine in, plug it all back in, and it'll run. They didn't do anything to the chassis of this car or the suspension. It really was designed to be taken back to stock because, well, it's worth a lot of money now. Whoa, a little bit squirrely there at the back. Let's open up second gear. Okay, yeah, it's very turbocharged. So the way the gearing is set up in this car, it will hit 130 k's an hour in second. It'll do 180 k's an hour in third. So very, very tall gearing. Here we go, second gear. Sounds like I've just eaten a squirrel. Oh, I want to do that again. Whoa, there's the turbo. Oh my word. To be honest, I still wasn't getting the most out of this car, but I really wanted to show you, our audience, what this thing can do. And so, not wanting to ruin a prized possession, I handed the keys back to Jonathan, the builder, who quite conveniently had a very successful career as a drifter. Let me give you a bumper-to-bumper tour of this very special car. So built by Jonathan and his dad Des at Rapid Garage. This is Des's daily. He always loved the Z3 M Coupe, always wanted one, and now of course he has one. So starting with the exhaust, back box is standard to the car. Everything else though to the engine is custom for the car. They made it themselves. Diff side shafts, that's stock. It's running on larger wheels, 18s, where the car came out on 17s. These are 265s as well. The prop shaft, gearbox, and engine are all Toyota. They had to customize the prop shaft a little bit to make it work. The gearbox, they needed something really strong because they were aiming for 400 kilowatts. So they got a D4D gearbox out of a Toyota Hilux. Apparently quite a common swap that, and one of the reasons why it's so difficult to get a Supra engine and a Supra gearbox is because a Supra gearbox now costs about $6,000 US, which is a lot. So follow me to the engine bay, where of course we find the 3-liter 2JZ imported from Japan. They fitted it with a GT45 turbo at first, but it was just unruly. 400 kilowatts obviously is crazy in a car like this. It only weighs 1,400 kilograms. Such a short wheelbase. So went down to a GT30 turbo and detuned it a little bit, only running on 0.8 bar boost for me today. All of these little carbon fiber pieces made by Des and Jonathan. Everything you see here has been done by them for this car. And because it was meant to be a daily, you didn't really want it to be that loud. So you kind of think it's a normal car until you hit the rev limiter. You know, the thing is, I've been doing this job 15 years, and you really risk, as a motoring journalist, you really do risk becoming jaded, because, you know, you drive a GTI and that's fast, and then you drive a M4 and, you know, that's fast, and you drive a McLaren and then the M4 seems like a piece of junk, you know? And you really do, I know I sound like a moaning, whining ninny, but you really do become jaded. You become a bit acclimatized to exciting cars, which is quite sad. But today I arrived at this racetrack genuinely excited to drive this car. It is such a wonderful thing. They've done such a great job with it. Oh, the turn in is just, goes exactly where you place it. Yo, you do not want to have any steering angle on this car when that turbo kicks in. What a great build this is. I know a lot of you watching this are going to think, oh, absolute sacrilege, but don't stress. This is a matching numbers car. I'm pretty sure one day it will be taken back to stock, but right now, this is an incredible little daily. Okay, I think that's enough. Well, at least I know the seat heater still works.
Cars.co.za is so much more than just a YouTube channel. Take our app for instance. It's been downloaded over 500,000 times in the Android store alone, which means it must be okay, right? You'll find the links to the download for iOS and Android in the description below.
Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.